Hey, Nielsen Dynasty, please like, share, and subscribe. Silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. And don't listen to me and anything I say is be taken as bull crap. This is just for entertainment purposes and to let you guys know what's going on with platinum. And as you can see here, we have Kitco up. And let's see, gold's up 94, cool. Silver's up $1. It was higher last night. And oh my gosh, look at platinum, $2,100. It's almost half the price of gold. It's no longer 25% the price of gold. It's half the price of gold. That's a pretty good stretch, man. It's doing pretty good. Up 130 bucks today. 2104 is the bid. 2114 the ask. Man, its price run up is ridiculous. It is doing very, 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 very spectacularly good. I was mentioning the other day, actually several days ago, about the silver to platinum ratio. And it was at 28 silver would get you 1 ounce of platinum. And now I know they haven't updated the ratio chart yet because they're like slow on that kind of thing for some reason. But let me see, where's my calculator at here? I got a calculator. Here it is. Nope, that's calendar. Calculator. So we're going to figure this out. So 2104 divided by, we'll just say it's 69. Give silver a little bit of room. All right. Well, about a week ago, the ratio was 28 silver, actually 27 and a half, but 28 silver would get you 1 ounce of platinum. 4 days later, it'll now take you 30 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of platinum, which means platinum's overtaken the price of silver as far as ratios. It's gone up a lot more than silver, but no one's talking about it. Again, just today, $130. It sounds like it went up 2 ounces of silver. Hey, what's up, Silver? Silver Rugger. Wow, yeah, Australian money's, that's a lot of money. Actually, 2,100 is cheap, or actually it's cheap. 3,176 is cheap because it's worth a lot more than that. It's worth a lot more than that. As you're going to see over the next year or two, you're going to see platinum start to, like I said, it's already half the price of gold right now. It was 25% the price of gold about a year ago. So it's doubled its price, which it's gone more than that, because when I started talking about it, it was in 800s, and now it's 2,100s. That's ouch! No biting, kitty cat, get off me. Sorry, let me do the rat. Cat bit me. So it was 800. So we're at $1,300 up, which is actually 150% in a year and a half. And if gold was competing fairly, not fairly, but legitimately with platinum, platinum should still be a quarter of the price of gold. But as you can see, it's $200 off of half the price. So platinum is rising a lot faster than gold and silver. And that's why I've always said buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium, because platinum is the sleeper in all of this. And I just wanted people to see realistically what's going on. What's up, Judy? But platinum is kicking it right now. Up $130. Hey, what's up, Crafty? There and Crafty, most excellent on you. You are up $1,200 since that purchase. That's an excellent purchase. I'm glad you listened. I have other friends that bought quite a bit around the same dollar amount as you, and they're real happy. I'm glad that everyone was able to take advantage of the extremely suppressed low price of platinum over the past several years. It's coming to an end. 2100 is actually still going to be a good price for platinum because the ratio going up. Oh, thank you very much, Judy. The ratio going up, platinum's still going to go up easy $4,000 over the next year. And that has more to do with, well, geopolitical and the new mine opening up. I've done, ouch! Don't bite me. Sorry, same little kitten bit me again. I did videos on Clean Air Metals. It's in Canada. They're an exploration company right now, but the platinum vein they found is running parallel to the ground pretty much. The whole vein is no more than, hey, what's up, GJF? But their whole platinum vein runs pretty much parallel to the Earth. The deepest part of it's 600 meters. Right now, Africa and South Africa, the South African diamond mines that make about or produce about 80% of the platinum, they're at about 2,200 meters down. Clean Air Metals stated they were not going to start mining silver or platinum until the price got to a more realistic number. Not gold, Judy. Silver's worth buying still, and so is platinum and crystallized osmium. Not gold, because there's too much gold. People are dumbstruck by gold because of the price right now. But if you look at the actual mineral itself, and then you start doing research in history. Hey, what's up, William? The research in the history of gold in America, you'll find out there's a lot of places where you can still go and get gold out of rivers. So if you can spend a weekend with your kids camping somewhere that you discover that there's still gold in the rivers, and I'm not going to tell you where that is. I've done videos on some areas where it is, and you can get a half ounce or a quarter ounce of gold by panning on a weekend. That's about $1,000. Why the hell are you buying it? You just spend a good weekend with your kids out camping, and you got a free quarter ounce or 3, 4, 5 grams of gold. And you do that, you get more family time, you get free gold, you save the money from buying that gold to buy silver and platinum. Because two things you can't do is you can't go out camping and pan in a river and find silver and platinum. So you buy that stuff. If you can find it, you don't buy it. You look at how you can make finding it valuable to you. And if you have a family and kids, you make finding it valuable by going out camping with your kids. You might have to take a weekend because you have to go to another state where you find, after you do your research, that there should be a decent amount of gold in certain rivers in other states or whatever, due to the historical research that you've done. I hope you have crystallized osmium. Copper is the sneaky Pete, William. I actually mentioned that yesterday, I think, on my live stream. There was someone else. I mentioned on someone's live stream. Oh, no, it was last night on James' live stream. I mentioned copper's going to probably go up a lot because even though it's not a monetary metal, it's still been used in money for thousands of years. So even though it's not a monetary or seen or valued as a monetary metal, copper, name a point in history where they didn't use copper as money. I'm thinking the further back in history I'm going, for medieval history, European medieval history, and American history, copper was fractional silver. If you were a peasant and you didn't have silver, you had copper because things weren't purchased in silver. So it's always been a monetary. As a matter of fact, they're finding 25 different hoards of quote-unquote treasure throughout Western and Eastern Europe of these copper sticks. They look like the nose rings girls wear, but they're like a foot long and a lot bigger, and they got balls on each end of it. And these things are like bound together like you'd bind together a group of 20s. And archaeologists throughout the years have said, oh, it's just this, it's just that. But now they've gotten all together and found out that they found 25 hoards of this same type of material throughout Europe, Eastern and Western Europe. So, and this is about 3,000-year-old stuff, bronze and copper, I think, is what it's made out of. And they've finally determined that they were using it as money. So, 5,000 years ago, they were using copper as money. 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, last year, this year. So copper might not be considered money, but I would say it's money. As far as XDC, Judy Barber, look at the ISO compliant cryptos. It's ISO 222, that one right there. There's a list of cryptos: XRP, Algo, XLM, Kronos, Digibyte. There is an XDC, but I'm not sure if it's that one or not. But it's also ISO compliant, which means it's going to be accepted and used in financial transactions throughout the world. It's known also as SWIFT 2.0 because we're ditching SWIFT, and no one's talked about what we're replacing SWIFT with. They keep talking about, oh, BRICS. Okay, so America's going to use the BRICS system now. We're just going to turn over and die. Yeah, let's not be foolish. No, America has come up with SWIFT 2.0. It's called the ISO 222. And all the cryptocurrencies that are compliant with ISO 222 are going to be used in coalition with the structure of the SWIFT system. They're going to be used as financial transactions between governments and countries and large corporations around the world to replace the SWIFT system. So all of the ones that are ISO 222 compliant, I don't know if they're going to skyrocket, but they're definitely good investments. I don't know the future. I don't know, how BRICS will affect SWIFT 2.0, because SWIFT 2.0, obviously we're not going to turn out something not better than our competitors. And if hey, what's up, Jeffro? And if the BRICS was put out to be better than SWIFT, the old SWIFT system, then the new SWIFT system, SWIFT 2.0, ought to be better than BRICS and start pulling countries back over to the new SWIFT 2.0 system, so where we'll have a divide on the world between the BRICS system and the SWIFT 2.0 system. And it'll stabilize using that, but both will have to be intercompatible. And that's where SWIFT 2.0 will actually work better, because I've seen the BRICS system, and the BRICS system is only interactive ability of monetary transfer through the BRICS countries. The SWIFT system, because of ISO 222, these cryptocurrencies that are compliant with the legislation and regulations of the SWIFT system will be used by all countries, which means all of the BRICS countries will be using SWIFT 2.0 as well as BRICS. So that still keeps American dollar and American financing on a world leader, all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, America didn't give up. We didn't die. We didn't roll over. It just wasn't reported other than that I know of my channel. Not that I've actively searched other channels to see if they're talking about ISO 222, which is the new SWIFT 2.0. So, yeah, certain cryptos are good. Unfortunately, now we run into a complication that I see, and that is, what's up, Scrap Metal? $4 back would have been only $160, which would have put that at $42.30. And let's see, $42.30. Yeah, it would have put it exactly at spot price. You wouldn't have saved a fucking penny. Now, if they'd given spot price and still giving you 4%, they'd sell out. And actually, they should do that if they were good businessmen, because quite frankly, if they have a stockpile of gold and they're selling it, they bought it cheaper. I mean, you just see right there, the change today alone, gold is up almost $100. So if they bought 10,000 ounces a week ago, they'd be up $200, $150. They could easily sell it at spot price and allow you to get your 4% discount and still show a profit. And that would also show goodwill to their consumers and probably bring in more customers buying other things. But that's just Neil's corporate way of doing business. That's why I don't succeed in the corporate world, because I'm not greedy. They did that 4%. They offered that price specifically so they'd give it to you at spot and think that's good enough with you get no pay, no premium. And yeah, it is, but they could do so much better if they weren't greedy. And if you look at the main corporate scheme, getting people in the door. What's up, Gerald? Getting people in the door of your store is the hard part. Once they're in there, it's sell everything. The products sell themselves. So, and there's a whole psychology of that they deploy on all of us as we enter grocery stores. So they know they can do that. So it's just greed that they don't allow a better opportunity for you to make money. Yeah, that's about right. $5 each. That's an average price for 19, 16, 17, 18 dimes. Yeah, that's the average price now. I sold a couple to my local coin shop, and he gave me $5 for them. So actually, I got a good deal by getting $5 for them. If they're selling them for $5, I got what they're selling them for. Scrap metal. I've been broke for the past 4 years, brother. Dipping into my savings, my retirements to stay afloat. Work has been crap. What's up, Chad? But yeah, let's look at platinum. Look at platinum, people. Remember a year ago it was like $900, $800. Look at that, $2,100. You could not ask for anything better. Oh, I got something funny to show you. I got to show you all this. Okay, this is not perverted, but you see this little bulge right here? See this tail? I got a cat crawled into there's his ear. I don't know if you can see his ear or her ear. She is asleep in my pocket. I have a cat sleeping in my pocket. Where my hands are supposed to go, I have a kitty. And she's not even all the way in. Get in there, girl. There you go. I think that's funny, Zach. Full screen it. Let me see if I can do that. How do I do that? Well, okay. I will get rid of. Ooh, how do I do that? See, this is on. This feature. Pop outs. I would have to get rid of that, I guess. See the tail? She's like, walking around with a tail. This was the one that was biting me earlier. Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're going to go up. I don't really focus on the cryptocurrency. I have another person that focuses on that. I focus on the infrastructure of the financing, which is more of the ISO compliant part, because that's the part that concerns the government and financing. And crypto isn't financing, but the ISO part of the crypto is financing. So that's what I focus on. I don't focus on individual cryptos. I did focus 8-9 years ago when I was into crypto on XRP. No, excuse me. XLM, Algo, and ADA. And quite frankly, all three of those are now ISO compliant. So I was already drawn to the, at the time, 8 or 9 years ago, the future use case that I saw coming from those three that I focused on. And now that's come to fruition. But that's not really, I wasn't focused on crypto. I was focused on the ones that are going to be a part of our financial system of the future. But yeah, I got a kitty cat sleeping in my belly. That's like that big fat Scottish guy from Mike Myers' movie. Get in my belly. I'm hungry and I'm going to eat you. He says that to Mini Me. what was that? Gold member or something like that. Name of the movie. But yeah, platinum is taking off, people. The manipulation of platinum is ending, and that means that clean air metals is going to convert. Hey, Callie is going to convert. Hey, look at this, Callie. I got a kitty cat in my hand warmer. She decided to crawl in there on her own. But anyhow, back to clean air metals. They've already done the paperwork in, I think it was March. They did all the paperwork to convert from an exploration company to a mining company. They have all the rights in Thunder Bay to mine that new platinum vein. They said, and I did a video on this about a year ago or so, maybe a little longer, that they weren't going to start mining till the price of platinum started going back to normal. That statement of its own, I used as a confirmation of my understanding of how the price of platinum was being manipulated, which I also did a video on because I'm real big on platinum. And we see platinum at 2100. I'm telling you, clean air metals, once it passes its all-time high, is going to be converting over to a mining company. Their stock's going to start jumping. Right now, it's at point. It's 4.5 cents, 4.5, 5 cents. This is something that's going to happen in the future. If you watch my show for a while, and even if you haven't, you can go back, watch some of the videos, look at the time that those videos were put out, and see what's happened. I'm usually real early on saying things. Like the calls on NNE and OKLO, and as William, who was here earlier, oh, there's her head. She's coming out. She's waking up. He's like, what the heck? I'm going to get back up in here. What's up, little one? And I'm looking at NuScale. Since they lost 450% on their stock, I'm going to look and see the fundamentals of that stock, because they're a micronuclear energy company as well. But they were like so totally overvaluated, I didn't even bother looking at them. Are you attacking me now? You had your little nap? But now that they've dropped down to a more reasonable level, I'll start looking at them, see if they're worth investing in. You're welcome, Andrew. That's about the same place that Ninja bought 20 ounces at. I was screaming to the rooftops about platinum when it was in 700, telling people it was the deal, the only deal of the lifetime in the precious metals. Because when you see the new price in 2 years of platinum compared to the price you bought it at, you'll be like, damn, Neil was right. And I have been right quite a bit. A lot, actually. More so than Nancy Pelosi, actually, which is unusual because I'm not a congressperson. Well, there's still a lot of good things out there that I've been calling on. It's going to happen. Trump just signed an executive order Thursday of last week, decriminalize marijuana from a class 1 felony to a class 3 misdemeanor. He had so many scientists and doctors behind him as he was signing that, and businessmen, stating that there's going to be billions upon billions of dollars flowing into the medical and marijuana industry, not for recreational smoking, but for experiments, new drugs, new compounds to be made, new materials to be made. That money is going to flow into the asset class of the marijuana stocks. So this is the asset class of marijuana stocks. Here's where they're floating right now, because they're at a market cap of, say, like 5 billion. Okay, so if 20 billion flows into that market cap, everything's going to rise. So in a scenario like that, the lowest priced stock that still fits that scenario will rise the most. It'll shoot up higher, of course, come back down to a stable spot, but it will shoot up higher. So if you're getting some sort of a medical marijuana stock at 3 per penny, well, if it quadruples the amount of money coming into that asset class, that price will probably 20 to 30x it. Not stay up there permanently, but shoot up there. You got to be willing to sell and take the cash profit you're going to get, convert it to whatever the hell you want it to. But there's going to be a lot of profit in that, in my opinion. This is good advice, not financial advice. I never give financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some dumbass, unemployed iron worker that's got too much time on his hands. That's a high IQ. And study. I don't pay someone else to tell me what to study. I look at things that interest me and I study them. Just like people who pay $500,000 to go to college. I just don't pay the $500,000 to go to college. I do my own studies. It's called elective studies if you go to college. And I learn the same things. It's just I'm an unemployed iron worker and I don't have a certificate. So in our mindset, I'm still a dumbass, according to the paperwork. Paperwork's a lie. As we're finding out now in Minnesota, $9 billion worth of fraud. Paperwork is a lie. So the one thing that stands true is if you put 10,000 hours into anything, you're going to be an expert. So start putting an hour a day of studying, and after 10,000 hours, you'll be one of the best experts in the world because no one else is putting that time in. I mean, I did, but no one else is. No, Silver, I had a job for a week. It was supposed to have lasted 3 weeks. And I was having a conversation with this other gentleman. And then someone came up and started yelling at me, like real close to my face. So I turned around and started yelling at him. And I got fired. And he kept his job. I brought him up on charges down the hall. We already went through all that bullshit. And I still haven't got a job since then. It seems like the powers that be in the universe don't let me working right now. Because I've been an iron worker out here since 1996, and this is the first time I got fired when someone else started yelling at me and I yelled back at them. I can think of many times where we had scuffles on a job site and no one got fired. But this guy's a refugee type, so obviously he has more rights than a fucking war veteran, 30-year iron worker. I didn't know that. I found out. Yeah, they have more rights than me. She has to be the drinker, Jeffro. If you had to live with her husband, you'd be a drinker too. See the freaky shit he goes through. You'd be like, oh my God, I can't handle this. Give me another fucking bourbon. Bring the bottle. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to work. I don't even need to be here. I'm going to go to another state. And that's typically how she lived her life. So you can tell how shitty it was living with him. No, Chad, because I'm a freaky weird son of a bitch. After 33 years of ironwork, I am in better shape now than I was when I started. I do have some back issues, but they don't bother me. I know one day in the future, maybe in my 70s, they might kick in if I stop staying healthy. And this is another point. If you don't use it, you lose it. Never stop moving. Always work out. Do isometrics, do something. Because as soon as you quit, that's when the pain starts to hit. And once the pain starts to hit, you ain't never going to get back out of it unless you do drugs. Prescription drugs are still drugs, and they fuck you up just like street drugs do. So keep yourself in shape always. But yeah, I have VA insurance, which is very limited. I don't have ironworkers insurance because I haven't worked long enough to have it, so I can't go to a doctor and have any of that stuff found out. Yeah, that's the one, Jeffro. William, I was big into Kung Fu when I came out here in 96 and stayed big into it till 2000 when I left for a year. And then I reshaped myself and came back and I stayed away from that community. But while I was in that community, I learned a lot of stuff, and also through the holistic and nutritional medicines that I've been doing for 35 so years. I've learned a lot about pressure points. You got one in your mouth for your lung and your heart, and you got the lung pressure points here and here. I work and I do that kind of thing to myself so I don't feel any pains. So that makes me not want to go on disability because I might be able to show on an x-ray that I got the damage, but I don't express that damage because the way I take care of myself. And it would be kind of fraudulent to go in that direction. Oh, what? Giving up sugar took all my pain away. See, this is where our systems are totally different. I'm hypoglycemic. I've passed out twice in my lifetime because my blood sugar went too low. I'm the exact opposite of a diabetic. I don't have to take shots. I just have to eat protein or chocolate. So I have to eat it to keep my normal, and because of that, it causes hyperactivity. Obviously, because you got more sugar in you. So my metabolism and body type is kind of weird. We got a lot of things that work against each other that you can balance, but it causes elevated amounts of energy and causes your brain to keep going. I'm taking it clobbered by a semi meant that a little kid came up and hit him in the head. I don't want to consider he might have got hit by a semi because that would really be messed up. Here's an interesting thing. Chad says the best thing that helped him was not eating breakfast. It's a good point. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but if you stop eating for a while, those hunger pains you feel, well, I don't know if they're actually what I'm fixing to say, but it's a proven fact. I've read the paperwork of the Nobel Peace Prize or Nobel Prize winner for, I don't remember what category he won it in, but he won the Nobel Prize for, it might have been health and nutrition. I'm not sure. But he discovered that when you get that, when you're hungry and you don't refill your body up, your cells eat damaged cells first, which means if you have a cancer cell or a diabetic cell or some other cell, by implementing a craving of hunger in your metabolism, will cause your own cells to eat the damaged cells that are 9 out of 10 your health problem. So then you go back to a spiritual or religious thing and look at the Bible and it says fast. Fasting means don't eat for one day. During that one day, you're going to get that feeling of hunger. But during that day, your body, that feeling of hunger, your body's cells are going to be eating the damaged cells. If you do that weekly, that's kind of like a health check maintenance weekly, probably guaranteeing that you won't get some bad disease later on unless you consume a food of a processed nature consecutively. Then you're causing your own issues not to be seen by a doctor, but to be seen by your eyes and your mouth and what you're putting in your mouth that's processed that's causing the problems. And if you quit putting that stuff in your mouth and going down and causing the problems, and you start eating the real food that's not processed, you might find out that by fasting once a week and eating real healthy food will keep you from getting lots of shit. Now, the medical field and insurance industries don't want you to know this because that'll cause them to go bankrupt. And heaven forbid that people lose their jobs because you're healthy. And that's what I push. And that's why I get strikes when I talk about this shit. Because you can keep yourself as healthy as any doctor, more so than any doctor can keep you healthy by just knowing your own system, your own body. Wow, it's yours. You got to live with it 24/7, 365. Why don't you know it? Yeah, that's an interesting question. Answer it. Get to know your body. Know what you do, your body, how it reacts to different foods. And then cut out this processed crap. Start spending some time making some real food. And then do the fasting once a week and see, because that's not a religious thing. That's a health thing. Because it's been proven by that scientist who won the Nobel Prize for Science. He proved your cells will eat your damaged cells first if you're hungry. What are the damaged cells? Damaged cells are usually illnesses, cancers, diabetes, muscular sclerosis. All your diseases are damaged cells that your body will eat off first if you do a weekly maintenance of fasting once a week. And it just so happens it falls in line with Christianity, but it's also a fact. But back on the sugar thing, lots of people react, their bodies are different. And that's why I challenge you to get to know your body. Do research. Don't just because the guy next door it happens to him means it's going to happen to you. No, guy next door actually doesn't do any sugar. Every time I go work for him, I bring the candy. I'm 57 years old. I still need that shit. Yes, sugar is the most inflammatory thing, but I'm not inflamed because my body eats it up and turns it into energy. And that's what makes me hyperactive. But if I don't do that, then I got to eat protein. Protein will add weight to me. Then I'll get fat. Then I'll have other problems. And I didn't want to go in that direction because when you get fat, you get diabetes, you get fucking knee and joint pains, and all the fat person's problems. I didn't want that. So I chose to stick with the sugar route and hope like hell that, I won't get inflamed. And 57 hasn't happened yet. So I'm thinking I took the right path for my body type, not y'all's, for my body type. There are people out there, and this has been proven too. Mother, daughter. Daughter is always chunky. Mother's thin for her whole life. They found out there's a bacteria in your stomach that can cause you to be fat and cause you to be thin by on how your body processes food. Not your neighbor's body, your friend's body, your cousin's body, your mom's body, your dad's body, your sister's body, but your in particular body might process things different than everyone else. And you're comparing their cures to you, and it doesn't work. And you get frustrated. And I can't lose weight. That's just one example. You don't know your own body. And just because, like Andrew was saying, yeah, sugar is the most inflammatory thing out there. I use natural cane sugar, 1.5 teaspoons in every cup of tea I have, and honey and cinnamon. So I've been doing that for quite some time. And it's just my body types works differently than other people's body types. Ouch, Andrew. You shouldn't fucking drive in front of trucks that fall asleep, man. Sorry, I had to make it funny. William, you understand. You totally understand it. It also affects the brain. Yes, and your thought process, perception being reality, and all that stuff falls into it as well. It's a lot bigger, but it's simplistically, I tried to lay it out in layman's terms so that you don't have to get the whole picture. Yeah, the influence of trauma bonding, I believe they've got a name. It's called the Nightingale effect, when nurses fall in love with their patients. It's the influence of a trauma bonding. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm sorry, Chad. It wasn't in that aspect that you were talking. Or William, my bad. Wow, one guy ate a whole airplane. I wouldn't want to have that record. Uh, you know what? Silver Rugger says, I wish I could enjoy tea without sugar. Uh, I use, like I said, I use pure cane sugar. I don't use the CNH white sugar because that's processed sugar. I use the unprocessed sugar. So it has a different total, even though it's called sugar, it has a total different effect on your body. If you eat cane sugar over a processed white sugar, the effects to your body are totally different. Totally different. Uh, Heart disease is only the number one killer because of what people do to their bodies. Every cell in your body can regenerate except for certain parts of your brain. Every cell can regenerate. So theoretically, if you don't keep killing yourself, you can heal yourself. Your trick is to find out how you're killing yourself and stop. And that's knowing your own body. Like right now, I know my body facilitates kitty cats. I didn't know that yesterday. So I'm still learning stuff about my body. And she likes being there. That's cool. Till I have to go outside. Yeah, raw sugar is good sugar to use. Stick your head back in there before you choke yourself. There you go, kiddo. Sorry, she stuck her head out too much, and the bottom part was hitting her. As you can tell, she's going back to sleep. It's obviously a comfy spot. I imagine it would be. Probably like sleeping in a hammock made out of bear skin rug. Oh man, I could fall asleep in that. Now I'm gonna have to get a hammock bear skin rug. Although I am glad she found that spot because I wear the Space Force often. I've got two red ones, a green one, a gray one, and a white one. So she learns to crawl into that hand holder. I'm gonna have a cat in all of them. But anyhow, platinum, platinum, platinum. You guys need to keep looking at platinum. It is going to rock and roll. Yeah, it's still up $134. Silver has not. JM did a live stream last night. I was a part of. And silver got up to 69.20. It's still not above there today. Platinum added $134. Silver didn't move. Platinum added $134. Just like that. Just like that. Said, oh, I need 2 more ounces of silver for my ounce of platinum. Now, boom, up $134. And that has to do with Clean Air Metals, CLRMF, and they're going to control the platinum market and the price of the platinum market because that price control is going to lead the BRICS nations. Now we're getting back into financial stuff. Price control is in BRICS hands right now because BRICS countries can mine about 95% of the platinum on the planet, so they control the price. Once America controls 50% of that platinum market, we control the price. Due to economic war going on between BRICS and America, America will probably allow the price of platinum to go up to about $8,000 to $10,000 because of all the contracts BRICS China has to buy platinum. And they drove the price down so that they could buy half the world's supply of platinum last year to make car engines. They have to buy more platinum. So if the price of platinum goes up 10x, it'll help bankrupt China. That's how economic wars work. And if we're in an economic war, which I've heard on the news that we are, you can take great advantage using a strategy that deploys the economic war. Find out what's being suppressed, who's making what off of what, see the geopolitical scenario, hop on it. That's what I did with platinum. I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is clear as day. Plain, clean, seeable, very viewable. I did a video on the paperwork of when the price of platinum started to be manipulated. And I said when it would stop. It's coming up on the stopping time. They're losing control. They're losing price control of suppression on platinum. Right now, platinum should be $8,000 to $10,000 if the natural price flow was allowed to happen without manipulation. So, as everyone says with silver, oh, they got that ball underwater. They're holding it down. It's going to pop up higher than ever. Okay, I agree. It's going to happen with platinum too. The only problem is right now, platinum should be $8,000. It's been suppressed for 15 years. It might jump up to 16, 20,000. then fall back down to twice gold's price, which is this historic average. And it should be there because of our new economy requires more platinum, and we have less of it. Supply and demand. It's got to go up. So the price manipulation had to end due to technological innovations and new product lines coming out that require platinum, and meaning that you can't suppress the price to the point where it's all mined out of this planet and the price is cheaper than shit. It's just even the people suppressing the price can't allow that to happen. And that's about the point that we're at right now. That's why you have Astroforge looking to mine 60 kilograms of platinum every 2 years. Well, first it's a 2-year round trip. They're going to send an asteroid out to the asteroid belt, and they've already got like 5% of the asteroids mapped out and a process to how to get the platinum off those asteroids. A 2-year revolution. So their first flight to go do that, 2 years later, they're going to add 60 kilograms of platinum to our supply. That's 2 years from now. We have a 3-month above ground supply of platinum. That leaves us 21 months deficit. Wow. So we need a new platinum mine. Thunder Bay, Canada, new platinum mine. The next platinum mine I think we're going to be able to discover will be because of this blockade going on in Venezuela, because I believe the next platinum discovery is going to be in the Darien Pass area. Not actually the Darien Pass, but in those mountain ranges. And the reason why I say that is conquistadors back in the 1500s named platinum. They found so much of it and they found it useless, they threw it away. In 1800 something, Spanish or Portuguese scientist rediscovered platinum and all its properties and whatnot, all down in South America, Central America. But yet no platinum veins been found there. But yet the only place that no one can go in my lifetime is the Darien Gap. Why? Controlled by drug dealers. No, not even the Colombian army will go near there. They get killed. So no surveyors can go in there. No one knows what the minerals are like. I believe someone knows what the minerals are like, and this is a conspiracy of mine. For about 40 years, kept the Darien Pass impassable or unavailable for exploration and mining exploration, because I believe that's where a huge platinum vein is at. But that's just my speculation. But anyhow, I know a lot about platinum. Yes, no, Callie, it's a sweet ass trade. What I just said right now, we're at about 30 silver to 1 platinum. 4 days ago, it was 28 to 1. It's running away, but it's not running that far, that fast yet. So it's still a good trade to do 30 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of platinum. That would be an awesome trade, because then what you have is you can look at this 30 ounces of silver. As that platinum goes up, you traded 30 ounces of silver for platinum goes up, silver goes up. See which one value cash wise gains you more revenue or in earnings from appreciation, and I think you will appreciate platinum a lot more. The white metals matter a lot, Callie. As a matter of fact, of the 8 precious metals out there, silver, gold, the other 6 are PGMs, platinum group metals: iridium, rhodium, platinum, palladium, and osmium. All platinum group metals. So 3/4 of the precious metals are platinum group metals, not gold and silver. Gold and silver are the red-headed stepchildren of the 8 precious noble metals. Yeah, osmium. Now, there is a crypto out there for whoever was talking about crypto. We were talking about crypto earlier. There is a crypto out there that's not ISO compatible. That will be a good company because they're going into like a credit style. And I thought I just put them down there. This company, it's a crypto company. I don't know. They are part of the ISO. Jerry, they're ZBCN. It's part of the ISO compliant cryptos. I need to double check that. I think it is. Maybe Jerry can tell us. Gerald can tell us. But ZBCN, yeah, okay, they are okay. So they got in on this. Okay, yeah, no, ZBCN. That's also ISO 222 compliant. I'm real big on those. XLM, Algo, ADA, Digibytes, and ZBCN are the big crypto that aren't crypto because they're now regulated. So they're not crypto. They're actually companies that are being used in a format for monetary transfer in larger amounts from country to country, along with individuals, and that surpasses the BRICS companies. We can our ISO 222 compliant digital currencies. Russia will be taking them. China will be taking them. India, all the BRICS countries will be using them. The deficit here is none of the SWIFT 2.0 countries will be using the BRICS system, which will always keep the BRICS system number 2. Yeah, believe it or not, ZBCN signed a contract with Japan. Even with their financial problems, they see the future using that company for their credit card system in the digital format. And I think MasterCard signed up with ZBCN as well, seeing them as the future credit card. I'm actually a bigger fan of ZBCN than I am of XLM, Algo, and ADA. And those were the ones I was into 8-9 years ago that got me into crypto. Those ones fascinated me because I saw their trajectory as different than all the other cryptos, and I couldn't explain why. And then, of course, the last 8 years unfolded, and I was like, aha, my crystal ball didn't show that bullshit. Woo! And although it's not been really too freaky weird, the past 8 years have been freaky weird. Oh yeah, getting the foot in the door of the future. Like I said, not only bragging rights, but being able to multiply your investment by hundreds rather than by tens. Getting in now is a good alternative because it is so cheap. Same thing I say with MJNA, the stock. It's just so cheap, man. It's like 1/3 of a penny right now, and the floodgates are fixing to open up on that one. And that's we're going to cycles, economic cycles now. Economic cycles are affected by geopolitical, because the economic cycle didn't know that Trump was going to sign that executive order declassifying weed from class 1 felony to class 3 misdemeanor on a federal level, which means that every state that already has medical marijuana, well, now it's nationwide accepted because you've already got it through the state. So now state law supersedes federal law, except for constitutional matters. Federal law states that weed is no longer a felony. So now that opens it up to industry to be able to throw tens of billions of dollars at that one particular asset class because of legislation and geopolitics, not because of business. But if your government has been growing your economy for 50 years, you can't look at charts. You have to look at your government for the growth. And that's where I've been looking at for the past 30 years is what's the government growing? Because private industry is not growing our economy. So all the charts are bullshit. What comes before the chart? Who's putting the money out? Who's setting the direction? Our government. We went from 50 agencies in 1971 to over 450 agencies now. Trump said it online. We have 10 people for one job in the federal government. We need to fire a whole shitload. What's that mean? We have overlapping rules and regulations because we have too many damn 3-letter acronymed agencies. And they do have overlapping regulations, rules, and they make us all felons because of it. Our system's too complicated because the federal government grew our economy for 55 years. This is the first year. Right now, this month, we have a 4.5% unemployment. That's excellent because private industry hiring went up. Private industry hiring went up. But yet we still have 4.5% unemployment. Why? Because the federal government was firing people. That's a good thing, because every employee they fire is a tax dollar. We don't have to pay for their retirement, their salary, their vacations, and everything, because there's 9 other people doing their jobs. So we're basically paying 9 people, 10 people to do one job, and it's coming out of our checks. If you want to know why taxes are so high, put it together. It sucks if you're a federal employee, but hey, choices and decisions, baby. Everyone got screwed, well, except for me. Everyone's got screwed into seeing this system the way they wanted you to see it. I saw it for exactly what it was in the beginning. Back in the 70s, I was like, dude, this is government-controlled growth, man. And that's why I didn't really stand a chance to open up my own company until now. And I'm opening up several because I see. Gerald, you want ground floor opportunity, bragging rights. Yeah, open a company now. See how much bragging rights you have and how much money you're going to have soon. Because we're changing over from a government growth economy to private industry growth economy. And the government's going to help. That's called subsidies. For those of you out there that know what I'm talking about, by businesses I've spoken to you about, now you can see where subsidies are going to be a real big help in creating companies to employ Americans, not through government growth, but through private industry growth. And that's the way we're going. And that means we're not going to be a consumer nation anymore. We're going to be a manufacturing and production nation. And we're going through the turbulence in the waters right now of that change. But anyhow, anyone else have anything else they want to talk about? I've been running my mouth for an hour. I did want to talk about platinum. Oh my God. Let me see what platinum's, if it's still up 130. Oh no, it's up 138 bucks. I got to reshow this. Hold on a second. Share screen. You see that number? $2,122. It is up almost 7% in one day. Now we're talking platinum's more volatile than gold and silver. I mean, fucks. Gold's up $100. It's only 2%. This is up 7%. If you're looking for volatility, you go for percentages, not this number, but percentages. And this gain, it's up 7%. Now it's up 140. We saw that in live time. Now it's at 2,114. It is coming so close to reaching its all-time high. Yeah, I've been telling you people. Platinum's where it's at. Gold's the enticer. You want to make money, platinum. Yeah, it's a lot more volatile, a little harder to sell, but it's in an upward trajectory right now. So if you don't want to sell it right now, you want to buy it and hold that bitch till it's up to about $6,000-8,000, then sell it. Then take your time selling it, because you're going to have one hell of a profit margin. $6,000 profit on one coin that you spent $2,000 on. Now that's a good platinum. I've been saying it for 3.5 years. Platinum. Before I was introduced to crystallized osmium, my saying was buy silver and platinum. And then I was introduced to crystallized osmium. I did my research. I looked at it. Said I can add this to my saying, and now I say, with some cute little emojis underneath it. And everyone recognizes that as me. Buy silver, buy platinum, and crystallized. I've said it for 3 years, 3.5 years, not the crystallized osmium part, silver and platinum part. I say it for a reason. I don't focus on silver because there's a lot of people out there talking about silver. Pretty much everyone's talking about silver. I didn't want to be a tadpole in the ocean. People talking about silver. So I dove into platinum because no one was talking about platinum. So I became an expert at platinum. Again, it goes back to your 10,000 hour rule. I spent 2 hours a day for about 2 years. So that's what, 1,600 hours learning nothing but platinum. I'm not even close to being an expert, and look how good I am. Because I've got less than 2,000 hours of study on it. It'll take 10,000 hours for me to be an expert. Imagine what would happen if I became an expert in platinum. No, that also goes to show you don't have to get the whole 10,000 hours in of learning to be able to make money at whatever you're learning about. Just a couple hours of learning, an hour, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and it adds up, man. 300 days, you have 1,500 hours at 3 hours a day. You do your book, audio on tape as you're driving home from work. 15 minutes to and fro. There's a half hour. Now at lunchtime, you go out to your car or fucking eat lunch for a half hour, listen to another half hour of books on tape. Now you got an hour to study out, and you're not even left to work, and you already got 1 hour of research knocked out on something you want to be an expert on. But the only thing keeping you from being rich is your ability and want to do what it takes to achieve your goal. I try and lay out lots of different things throughout my 3.5 years on this program on how to get there. And hopefully you guys are picking up on it, because in those 3.5 years, if you only spent 1 hour a day researching, you'd have over 13 to 1,400 hours of knowledge in one thing just since I started my channel. So it doesn't take that long to become good at something. 10,000 hours, you'd have to triple the time. You've probably been up to 5,000 hours now at 3 hours a day. So you'd have to make more time out for your day. But you just got to do it. Make it happen. Build it, they will come. It's just so true. 7.24. Now it's up to 17. I'm going to close this down so we can just imagine how high it's going to go. It's going to go through rocket ship on it. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I appreciate everyone who came in for this impromptu live stream about platinum. Cali, it's now up 7.25%, and I think it's going to keep going. Yeah, basically what you focus on grows. You want to gain knowledge, focus on that knowledge. You'll gain knowledge while you're doing other things. You can do it in coherence with doing or in collusion with doing other things. You just got to multitask. Again, the only thing keeping you from being wealthy is your ability to manage your time, to learn and invest in you. As Callie says, what you focus on grows. No, what you focus on grows. Boom. Focus on something. You don't have to put 24/7 focus on it. Hour a day, half hour a day. Change your life in a year. Anyhow, God bless America and everyone here. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will chit chat at y'all later. Hey, make sure like, share, and subscribe so I can get some viewing hours. I'll talk to y'all later. Be kind to each other. It's free.